Hello there. This is Snake from Voivod, and you're watching Agoraphobic News.
Hey, Miller's here of Agoraphobic News, this time with Mr. Snake of Voivod. Hello, sir, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
So it's been a while since our last interview, I think a couple of years ago, so yeah. So what's going on in the Voivod universe? Do you have like some new album? Do you have a new album coming out? Do you have some songs written?
Yes, we have the 40th anniversary album, which
Mm-hmm.
includes old songs
Mm-hmm.
that we revisited,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a really fun thing to do. It was like a time capsule going back in time and revisit these old songs,
Mm-hmm.
especially one in particular, which was the first songs we ever recorded. That was for Metal Massacre number five
Mm-hmm. So
on
Ravenous, right?
yeah, on Metal
Mm-hmm.
Blade record back in the days before our first album. And
Mm-hmm.
the funny thing about it was like there was no lyric sheet in the in in the compilation itself. There was no lyric sheet, so and it was like us, including many other bands, and the way it was recorded was really hard to figure out the lyrics. I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember what I was singing, and so we're looking at everywhere on the internet if someone has it or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like it was nowhere to found, and then I said to myself, maybe mom has it in the attic somewhere. And then I called my sister. I said, "Can you check at mom's place? Maybe she put it somewhere." And then she went, and my mom had classified. She's really everything is in order with mom,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
he goes
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Yeah, yeah, I have it. File number 6." And,
yeah.
and then she pulled out the only copy of the lyrics in the world
Wow.
of that
Wow,
song,
wow, 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 wow. That's
and
amazing.
then we were like, yeah, because the song was already recorded, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
yeah, and then there's a song mostly on not on every album, but mostly the period from Roar, Killing Technology, Dimensionators, Nothing
Hmm.
Phase. We revisit one song of each,
Ah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's in a chronologic
Order,
pace.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's really fun. It was fun to do, and this should be out around July or something.
So how many
Uh,
songs is that going to have? Like,
oh my God, that's a good question. How many songs? Um, about 10, 12
hmm.
songs, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's really nice. And so like how different were the original lyrics for Ravenous Medicine? Were they really different or not?
We don't play that song. We're
Yeah.
playing from Roar, we're playing Trash and Rage. From Killing Tech, we're
Hmm.
playing Killing
Hmm.
Technology,
Yeah.
and so on. It was really, like I said, like a time capsule going back in the days. I'm trying to sing these songs like I used to, and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was really fun to do.
Yeah, but like the original lyrics, were they really different from like the album version of Ravenous Medicine? When you looked back at that lyric sheet, like were they really different or not?
Well, uh, we uh, I don't know why you come up with revenue medicine in particular, but yeah, it's the same lyrics.
Ha ha
Yeah,
ha.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, and so are you maybe planning to release like a new album, full-length studio album in the future, like 2023 or something like that?
I doubt it because we've been working in studio quite, Synchro Anarchy as well
Hmm.
was pretty demanding,
Hmm.
and we've been touring a lot this year, and we will be touring quite a bit this year too. So I don't know, it's just a matter of having the time to put ourselves into it. But uh, we're a band that almost like try to put songs together on
Yeah.
tour because otherwise we wouldn't be able to do it. So we'll be touring, and we have a couple of weeks in April
Hmm.
from for the Prognosis Festival in Holland and England,
Hmm.
and then we're going to do a US tour with Imperial
Yeah,
Triumphant.
yeah, 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 yeah,
And right after that tour, we fly from Dallas or from Texas somewhere, and we fly to Europe to join
yeah.
Exodus and Testament. Uh,
Wow. So that's
yeah,
gonna be like a tour, Exodus, Testament, and Voivod in
yeah,
Europe. Oh
yeah.
my God. And are you going to come in Serbia? Maybe?
I doubt it. I doubt it. But
Too bad, too bad.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's really
Check the
amazing.
dates. Check the dates. There might be a place where nearby. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I hope so. Okay. And so what's going on with the Voivod documentary? Are you
Uh,
guys going to release it someday? Like,
yeah, yeah. People are like, when is it coming out? When is it coming out? Actually, Felipe is still putting it together. I think he wants to take his time for the better of it, and that he might catch a little, and try to interview different
mhm,
people that he didn't have the chance to do it. So it's a matter of circumstances, but
yeah.
you really wanted to reach some people there that could have like a good input into the thing, and hopefully it's going to be pretty soon this year. It has to be this year somehow.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to put pressure on it, but it
Yeah,
would be
that's
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and what about DVOD 2? Is that ever going to be like released or not? Like DVOD 2?
Well, it's on the plan. And to tell you the truth, we didn't have really a lot of time to focus on it, but I think we're just putting great footage together
Hmm.
at this moment, and trying to make it really interesting, for the fans, and yeah, it's something that it's on our plan sheet
Yeah.
plan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. And now let's move to fans questions. So we have a couple of questions from my patrons. So Petar Jonović asks, so how did you get the snake nickname?
Oh my god. uh,
I mean, I know, but yeah, like,
it's a long story, but
yeah,
um, before joining the band,
yeah,
um, there was a I was doing like theatrical stuff
yeah.
at
Hmm.
school,
Hmm.
and there was like a game called improvisation stuff. So it's like a hockey game, but it's like you improvise as an actor,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
so there was a category of that I had to do it solo for
Hmm.
20 minutes or so,
Hmm.
and the team was kind of like relating about um, uh, it's hard to translate because it was in French, but it was called un verre de trop, means a drink too much. But un verre means also a warm,
Uh-huh,
like,
uh-huh.
and so I decided to do a warm, and I was like crawling like a worm. And after I don't know how many minutes, but I I suppose I was entertaining
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
quite quite good because Michelle was in the audience,
yeah.
and all of a sudden I said a joke, and I had like a sort of like a standing ovation there. And then Michelle came to me, in school and said, "Hey, I saw your thing the other day. It was really funny. And by the way, I know you like heavy metal. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
we're chatting at school, changing records sometimes. But and he goes like, "Would you like to? I playing with this guitar player, Denny Damour. He was already famous at the time. I said, really? You playing with Denny Damour? Fuck!"
yeah.
And then I said, "Okay." And we're looking for a singer. Would you like to try? I said, "Oh well, I've never sang in my life, but yeah, I could give it a try." And then we started up the band, and that came with different idea of nickname and stuff like that. And uh, all of a sudden, that name came out.
Snake was born. Snake was
Yeah,
born.
yeah, right.
Okay, that's a pretty cool story. Okay. And now we have a couple of questions from Amber Dawn. She's like probably the biggest Voivod fan that I know. So she asks, so your voice has gotten more powerful over the years, especially since Target Earth. Is this something you tried to work on, or did it just naturally happen over time?
Well, I think it comes naturally, but it goes with the I guess the practice, you know,
Hmm.
being a singer all these years, uh, you get to know your instrument more, what you're capable to do, what you're not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a matter of keep on doing it, and you're gonna find out sometime different way, or it evaluates
Mhm.
with yourself,
Yeah, yeah,
and it was a really good. So that's a good question because
yeah.
when I revisit the 14th anniversary album, I sing a little bit different than on
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah,
records,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
but I was trying to reproduce that sort of like throat thing that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had when I was young.
Yeah.
but but it came out good. It came really close to it at some point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And so, do you warm up before shows, and is there anything special you do to take care of your vocal cords?
Not really. I've never been into.
Mhm.
I think it's more in here than anywhere else. So you know, 5 minutes before a show, I'm just like going around
Yeah.
and backstage, and I'm trying to concentrate on the show itself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
really rare that I'm going to do like a exercise or stuff like that. I try to get my power ready
Yeah.
and all the strength I have to kick some ass. So
Okay, excellent. And so what the name Angel Rat means, like what is the meaning behind Angel Rat?
oh my God, it's just a combination of words. I thought that we were back in the days. We were going into a kind of folk tales
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
era.
Yeah.
Less sci-fi, but
Yeah, yeah.
let's say folk tales with sci-fi in it. And and I thought it was like a good combination of words, just like that. And there was a drawing too that
Yeah.
Michelle did at one point, and then said, "Oh, that's the angel rat," and then
Yeah.
it came out like that.
Really cool. Yeah. And have you seen this video where Gertel Kjelsen from Enslaved talks about Angel Rat album? Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
I know him. He's really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. But he like I saw I mean like Amber Dawn, she sent me this video where he talks about Angel Rat
Oh, okay.
vinyl. So yeah, you should check it out. Okay. And is it true that you were recovering from an illness and the doctor advised you not to play at Bloodstock Festival in 2013, but you performed anyway, anyway? Is that true or not?
Yes, it's true. My doctor was like freaking out. You know, he didn't want to let me go. Right?
Hmm.
But he gave me a lot of pills and say good luck. And if you ever feel bad, go to the hospital because I was under certain condition there,
Uh-huh.
and but it was okay. I did the health fest. I did that festival as well. We did like a short, maybe around like 10 days or so.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was all right, but I was losing weight all the time, and it was like it wasn't look good. When I came back, the doctors look at my face. He didn't do any exam at all. He looked at
Mhm.
me and he said, "I'm operating you." It's like that was done. But I wanted to do those shows, and
Yeah,
he he should
yeah,
have he should have let me go, but he did. So
yeah, yeah. But it turned out like good, great, right?
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. The Hellfest was great.
I
Very
think that
good.
she said Bloodstock, not Hellfest. Bloodstock 2013.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it was part of the same.
Uh-huh.
We did the Blood Fest. We did the, I think, Summer Breeze that, uh,
Hmm.
not sure, in Germany, and then Hellfest. And
Yeah,
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 a
yeah,
few.
yeah. Really cool. And the last question from Amber Dawn. So I read this random comment on YouTube that you once fell into a cement mixer and broke both of your legs. So is this true or not? And if so, what on earth happened? So is that true?
It wasn't a cement mixer. It was a paint mixer,
A
and
paint mixer.
but it's true. I almost end up dead.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My both of my leg got crushed, and it was really really painful, really really
Yeah, yeah.
bad.
So
Yeah.
when did that happen?
When was that?
Yeah.
I think it was around. Let's see. Um, maybe 98, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Somewhere around that area, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Okay, so and now my question. So who came up with the idea for End of Dormancy video? Like whose idea was that? Like it's a
Uh,
really crazy video. Like,
yeah. Well, that's a video that really was demanding on. Personally, I put a lot of energy in it, and
yeah.
we went to a super. Uh, we were a little bit too much ambitious at the beginning, and we had to cut on the on the effect on everything.
On the budget, right?
The budget, because it was too complicated, and too pricey to do
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I wanted to do, but we managed to do it very close to everything that we had planned. So it wasn't what it
yeah.
was at the
What it
beginning,
was supposed to be. Yeah, yeah.
but I don't think there's any one plan missing.
Yeah,
Everything is there, as the story, as whatever,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was
And it's
cool.
so funny because like Away told me like you had like the video finished, but then you released it I think in June or July because like he said, I don't want to make people more afraid of COVID or something like.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's sort of like it did. Well, COVID put everybody in a situation, in a
Yeah.
weird situation, I guess. You know, everything that has relation with anything, or even a
Yeah,
gas
yeah,
mask,
yeah.
it would
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
were. So yeah, it was a weird timing, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. So, but like what's going on in the video? So you have like, some scientists like experimenting on some germs, right?
It's about fungus. It's about
Mhm.
mushroom itself,
Yeah. Mhm.
and mushroom as it's fascinating how mushroom it's almost like the way it develops, and the way
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it connects. It really it can reach places,
Yeah.
because
Spores, yeah.
yeah, spores, yeah, they're communicating. It's just like it's a cellular communication, and it's almost like the brain connection, and it's
Yeah.
almost like a brain itself,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and that was the thing about it. but of course we put it more science fiction into
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like maybe that mushroom came from outer space or something.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And,
And you have like scientists and generals in the background, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
ex
it's related to the army because
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
the story was like a little bit like, oh, we found something in the bottom of the sea, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
it has an impulse or something, and
It's
from
really
that
crazy.
on,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so did you like try to make Ravenous Medicine Part 2 video or not? Like was Ravenous Medicine video inspiration or not?
No, not really. Ravenous medicine was uh, really kind of like related about the the way well against animal slaughtering, and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way we test all these
yeah,
cosmetics and stuff like that, lipsticks on those poor
yeah,
little rabbits or whatever.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Like experiments on people and animals, right?
yeah, yeah, it's like it's already bad to I'm not vegetarian, but I'm
Yeah, yeah,
thinking about something like at one point it won't work.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's getting uh,
Bigger and bigger and worse, right?
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so like, but the lyrics of End of Dormancy, I read like that they're inspired by Philadelphia experiment where allegedly like you had USS Eldridge, like I think being abducted by aliens or something like that.
hmm
So
Well,
was that inspiration for the lyrics or not?
a little bit. I think that the Philadelphia experiments is it's something that's almost too crazy to believe, and it's always one of those things that is fascinating, and anything that's related to some sort of military experience
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or whatever. It's always like it could be so many things, and then there goes your imagination. And then
Yeah,
what do you want? What are you trying to do? Whether they've
yeah.
been they've been to tell the truth. There's a lot of things that they tested like crazy atomic bomb that
Yeah, of course.
even though they didn't know what it's gonna do.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
let's try this, and then they could
See
have
what
blown.
happens. Yes,
Yeah,
let's see what happens.
yeah,
Like, yeah, like the Tsar bomb, like 60 megaton
yeah.
bomb. It's like
And I
20
remember,
20 World War IIs in one bomb. Can you imagine that?
yeah, and then in the 50s when they were
Yeah,
starting to
yeah,
test the bombs.
yeah,
At one point, they didn't know if the atmosphere will
yeah,
disappear, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they tested
Yeah,
it
yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
like,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, it's insane. So they dropped like a bomb, a nuclear bomb, 1.5 megaton in space to see what happens. And it's like, it destroyed like parts of the Van Alden belts that protect us from sun radiation. So can you imagine they could have destroyed the Van Alden belts and
yeah, yeah.
irradiate everybody? So
It,
see what
it,
happens now.
yeah, yeah.
Let's see what happens. Yeah,
Oops.
yeah. It's just crazy. Yeah. Okay, but like the follow-up questions. So, since Voivod is all about aliens in one way or another, so have you ever seen like something like Alien or not? Like, did you encounter something like that?
I have experienced one sighting with my sister when I was 12 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really strange. It didn't last, it lasted like a few seconds,
Mm-hmm.
but me and my sister we didn't comprehend what we're just
Yeah,
witnessing.
what happened? Yeah.
But it was not an helicopter, it was not a plane, and it
Mhm.
was
It was
something with a
something.
something with a light that goes on the forest like this. And
Wow, that's crazy.
We never knew what was the deal with that, but it freaks you out a little bit.
Yeah.
We were driving in a car, and that thing was going the same direction than we were going in the middle of the night in the forest. And then your imagination starts thinking, "Oh my God, they're waiting for us at the next curve," and
Yeah,
but I remember that we didn't say a word to each other in the car
really.
for until we pass another car, until we
Wow. Wow.
and then we look at each other. Did you see that?
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah, I
God. Yeah.
saw that. It was like a moment of silence. We
So
both
you were
saw it.
paralyzed?
Yeah,
Paralyzed?
I was completely far. I was not moving,
Yeah.
and
That's
that's really bizarre.
yeah. Yeah. So you were 12, so it makes it even scarier, like when you were like a
Yeah,
child.
yeah, yeah.
And from then
Really.
onwards, do you believe in aliens or not? Or did
Well,
it spark your interest in aliens?
oh yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that it would be for me to say that they don't exist or there's not something out there. It's all for me. It's unthinkable. When you look at the space and even on our home planet, there's a lot of things that doesn't make any sense. Like all these temples that was built like even before. Now they're trying to remeasure the time frame of humanity because some of this construction were older than the beginning of our societies
Yeah.
and time frame, and then and they had the technology that blows everybody's mind. Nobody, even today, we cannot build these structures, and so it's
Yeah.
cutting rocks with a laser, like it's impossible to do. It's like a block the size of the house here, and
Yeah.
fits with another one that it's like this and it's like this.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And on top of a mountain, where even that
Yeah.
rock, you cannot find that rock there. That rock is from
Yeah.
another place. So it's like
Yeah.
how it's like
Yeah.
they were here before us, and I think after us there would be something else.
Yeah. It's great. And did you read like I think the guy's is he called like Zacharias Sitchin or something like that, like the alien guy, ancient aliens, stuff like that?
No, no.
I think his name is Zacharias Sitchin. That he's first started off that, but I didn't read it. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Okay, and give me a second. So, and like there is this song Event Horizon where like you talk about microbacterias and like prehistoric disease like spreading, like virus getting released. So where did you get the inspiration for that song?
Oh God, I can't even tell. Uh, it's just for me. Sometimes it's a melting pot of things, and
Yeah.
I try to. It really goes with the music. Where I get my inspiration is I'm listening to what we just recorded,
Mhm.
and start from that point. And music as movements, music as something to say by itself, and so what I found interesting is sometimes to put words on the music, it's just like you try to catch the mood of it,
Yeah.
and then you let yourself, your inspiration, or you let your imagination goes with that. But the music itself gives you some int. If it's something that it's the beat like this, maybe
Yeah.
it sounds like a march or something. Or
Yeah.
sometimes it's more eerie. It's like, oh, it's kind of like a spooky. It could always have a feeling that gives you the lead to what the subject will be, and then from
Yeah.
that point on, it goes with the flow.
So you basically want to say that you write lyrics after the music's being made?
After or during the
Yeah.
process, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. And also, I think like Sonic Mycelium, there's also something like about spores spreading out. Like,
Yeah, actually, Sonic
yeah,
Mycelium was a song that was not originally made for the record,
yeah, yeah,
but we decided to do like a sort of like a melting pot of everything. So I took like two phrases of that, let's say two phrases from the first song, and then on that I mix it with the melody of the third song, and then it was like puzzling uh, everything that's on the record.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
so I don't think there is a riff on its own or pure part of music on its own. It's all picked up from the song uh, that we recorded previously, and the way I sing it with the words, I mix it all up. So it's a melting pot song.
yeah, 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 yeah. Amazing. And so you know, like I was listening to The Wake and Synchro Anarchy, and it's like they're really great. So like even like I put Synchro Anarchy as #1 album of the year. So yeah, like it was just crazy album. But when you compare both of these albums, like which one is better to you? Like is it Synchro Anarchy or The Wake? And what is like the difference between these two?
I think the way is absolutely fantastic, and we took the time to do something really polished. We took the time to do the record in a way that this has to be really
Yeah, yeah,
amazing,
yeah, yeah.
and it took 3 years, so something like that, to put it together.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So there was no rush, there was no time frame, whatever. So we really put a lot of energy and to have a really nice product, which is different from Synchro Anarchy. Synchro Anarchy, we were rushed and we had to deliver in 4 months,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it was it was a brainstorm every minute for 4 months, no rest, and it was spontaneous. It was not. We didn't have the time to think twice about
Yeah, yeah,
anything,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it created something different. It created
Yeah.
a vibe of a different vibe. It created a vibe of emergency. It created something, and it's a really more raw thing.
Yeah, yeah,
But but it's really hard to say which one is better. For me, it's two different
yeah, yeah,
situation. One was pre-pandemic, the other one was post-pandemic,
yeah,
uh, and then it's it's really hard to compare them to say, oh, this one is better than this one.
yeah,
I think that's
yeah,
two
yeah.
different things.
Yeah, but I think like The Wake has like more melancholic vibes. It's like
Mm-hmm.
more moody in a way, but like Synchroanarchy is like, more, let's say, straightforward. While like this, The Wake has like a sad
Yeah,
atmosphere or something like that.
yeah, you're right. Because when we were putting this song on Synchro, we said, because what happened is like we were doing the session, the recording session live for the pandemic. So we did, I think, three different session
Hmm.
that we recorded,
Hmm.
and then so we were like playing in the studio,
Yeah,
playing these records, song after song, doing live shows on the streaming thing. And then while we listened to it, something popped up like we sound really good, just the four of us,
yeah,
just bass guitar, drum, vocal.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And so on Synchro Anarchy, we said maybe it's an avenue that we should take, like not too much layer of vocal, not too much layer of guitars,
yeah, yeah,
uh, simple, more direct, more in your face. There is no long intro or atmospheric noise in the
yeah,
background. It's
yeah,
like, oh, the song is over, that's the next one, boom, and then it's a different process than the Wake. The Wake was like a conceptual album with airy music in between songs and stuff like that. So it was completely a different approach.
Yeah, I can tell. Okay. And so can you share some story related to Piggy, like something funny or stuff that you want to share?
Yeah, Piggy was one of a kind. There's a lot of stories about Piggy.
Yeah.
But I remember he at one point he had this thing in his head, hypophysis. He had a cancer
Yeah,
prior
yeah,
to the cancer
yeah.
he had,
Yeah.
and that
That's
controlled
dimensional haters or something like that during that era, right?
somewhere around that area, right?
Yeah.
And then and he was cured with certain pills that shrink the gland,
Yeah.
and that gland controls your hormonal system.
Yeah.
And so he had to take like surplus of hormonal stuff, and
Yeah.
then then he changed a little bit, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, I
Yeah,
can see. Yeah.
especially when he had a few drinks, he was like, "Oh my god," running around trying to find a girl, and oh, and he was doing crazy things. Sometimes he just went crazy. He was doing like one night he was running with wearing only his underwear in a hotel, and and it was like putting all the newspaper and he stacked the newspaper in front of Michelle's room,
Yeah.
and so Michelle was hearing some noise and laughing and stuff like that. And you look at the little thing, and it's a Piggy with his leopard underwear running in the corridor and stacking all these newspaper on top of each other. And and then he said, "What is he doing?" Like, and then he looked again, and there was like a security guard just next to him, and he had to put back the newspaper in front of each door like that. Put it back where it was.
Yeah.
He was quite funny, and
Yeah,
uh,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, it was a fun guy.
Yeah, I mean, too bad, like, but I think that he would be like extremely happy with what you guys did after him. Like, I think that he would like, say, yeah, this is great. Like, this is what I wanted, like after.
Yeah, in a certain way, we keep on doing this band in order to honor him, honor
Yeah,
his music, to let people know more about Voivod and Piggy's music. For us, it was I remember at the funeral that's what we said to each other. We should keep going to honor his music, to honor him, because
yeah,
he was such a one of a kind musician and innovator, uh,
yeah,
in a sense. So that's why
yeah.
we put it.
Okay, and so we have less than 1 minute. So do you have some last words for this interview?
Yes, try to catch us on tour.
Yeah,
I know we're not going into your area, but
yeah,
there's always good places to. We're going to be around Europe, and mostly this year, so try to catch us there, and
yeah,
try to
yeah.
try to meet with everybody there.
Yeah, okay. So thanks so much for this interview and see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Okay, thank
See ya.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Hey people, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Agoraphobic News. Please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel to help us grow. You can also support us on Patreon by becoming one of our patrons. And big shout out to our patrons Amber Dawn, Petar Jonović and Season of Mist for supporting our work. So stay tuned for another interview and keep it metal.